I worked as a student recruitment advisor for the Open University for the academic year 2024-2025, and it was my first time working for a higher education institution, and therefore I had to learn everything about the organization, its values, its systems, the vast array of qualifications and courses that they have available, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, and therefore the training had to be very thorough. I started at about July, and the training was about 5 weeks, and throughout these 5 weeks we covered everything. So we covered, like I said, the vast array of qualification, how you could study at the Open University, when you could study, so the start dates of the courses, how you could finance your studies, so which type of finance options are available to students, and there's only about 4 or 5, and also what extra offerings the university provides. So they have a student union, so you can register and you can have meetups with other students at certain points of the year. You can access the career center, where they give you an insight in what potential career opportunities are available depending on your course, and also they give you information in detail about what your strengths are and what you could do with your skills and qualifications, and what else, and also access to the library. So the Open University has a vast virtual library where you can access all the textbooks, most of the textbooks related to your course, and they also have physical libraries, but you would have to attend one of the campuses around the UK, and they do have a handful scattered around England, and so you would have to inquire about that. And there's also, obviously, if you register as a student, they give you a resource called the Help Center. So you would always have to signpost students to this Help Center, where they can find information about how to upload assignments, sit exams, what else? The library services. If they had special needs, such as disabilities. I mean, the essence of the role was to provide as much information that was relevant to the student as possible, and you had to make sure that it was accurate, that that everything you said was factual and not based on personal opinion. But the training also involved an element of call listening. So you would have to listen in on calls and see what the best practices were. So typically at the start of the call, you always have to do data protection, make sure that the person you spoke to was the actual student, and students might ask you questions. For example, if the qualification was over, how long it would take for them to receive the certificate, or if they were unable to upload an assignment to submit virtually, you would have to assist them on that. How to register, so whether they wanted to register online or through the telephone, they had this option. So you would have to go through all the relevant information about all these things to be an effective student advisor, to be able to confidently convey this information. But thankfully, the Open University does provide you with all the resources, so you can have a look at all the information. So you can have a look about student finance, about registration, about course length, about certificates. Everything is on there, about obtaining references, about credit transfer. So it was very informative. I definitely learned a lot about higher education. I mean, all the various qualifications and courses, and how the various different accreditations that you could gain depending on what qualification you were looking for, what qualifications you would need to gain to get access to like a certain profession. So if you want to be a psychologist, you would typically have to do undergraduate and postgraduate, and then you would have to go on to do more training after that, so it can take up to 10 years. So it's all these things that I've learned that have made me much more knowledgeable and much more confident about discussing how higher education works with students. But anyway, let me know what your experience was or is working at European University, and are you considering working at European University? Obviously, overall it's an inclusive organization, but you have to be somebody who can absorb a lot of knowledge and be enthusiastic about reading and finding more information for students when it's necessary, because policies and procedures are constantly updated, so you always have to keep up to speed. So this is, in a nutshell, my experience with European University.